how has COVID-19 reshaped both the global economy and Canada's role in it?
Well, Perrin, it's been very challenging. I think I would start with perhaps a fact that not all Canadians understood or realized is a large part of Canadian exports are service-based. And whether those services are professional services, whether it's tourism, arts, entertainment, all the service industries were a huge part of Canada's growing export base. And those have been extremely challenged through this crisis because they're people-to-people interactions. They're a very different type of infrastructure. So that is truly going to challenge Canada and its export performance. We've had that certainly as a challenge with the structure of Canada. I think the second one is oil and gas, and just the sheer demand destruction that has happened to the resource industry, and then compounded by the price destruction and some of the geopolitics that has been happening, particularly in the oil industry, have really challenged Canada. And that's another very significant part of Canadian exports. And then the third one is really transportation, whether that's aerospace, whether it's rail transportation, whether it's automotive. All of those are sectors that are equally as challenged. So we don't need gas for our cars. We don't need new cars. We're not traveling on aircraft. We're not taking vacations. So all of that, what Canada was very strong in exporting, have been very significantly affected. So we are going to see the effect in Canada's export performance. What we need to do, therefore, is reflect on how do we help those industries as much as we perhaps take opportunities where other sectors are opening up more rapidly. So we do need to help those sectors because those are equally part of the industrial base of Canada or the resource base of Canada. And we need all of that to be working together to actually build our exports up. So I think you'll see it's going to be bumpy, Perrin. It's not going to be even for every sector. It's going to look very different. I think, certainly transportation is going to be affected for a longer period of time than what we were talking about. It's already opening up in the ag space. So yeah, we're going to be challenged, and therefore we have to help our existing exporters more than we would traditionally think we would have to. We're going to have to encourage others to equally see opportunities in this time of challenge. And how long will this continue for? Our chief economist would always say that demand is building up, pent-up demand is building. It's linked to consumer confidence. So I think as we start to see economies open up, as we start to see consumers get confidence, then we will start to see increased trade flows. But the most important thing, Perrin, regardless of everything I've said about sectors and importance of industry and infrastructure, is actually public health. If we do not flatten the curve, if we do not come out of this in an orderly fashion and follow the guidelines of public health, we exacerbate what I see will be boom-bust type cycles. And therefore, for me, the advice I'm giving is we have to respect our public health officials. We have to ensure Canada emerges from this orderly and in a strong way, so that in fact we can take opportunities and can rebuild some of the capacity and the strength of the exports that we have.